It's a very exciting day because we are taking our boat off the dock for the very first time.
What's that noise?
The engine's actually overheating.
We'll have to tow the boat back over to its spot.
I'm Kate, and this is my husband Mick. Our kids, Thomas and Bentley, and my parents, Kevin and Shawna. We are 3 generations coming together to create the Cruising Meraki Project.
By the sea, silver caps the ocean. We'll be sailing free. I don't know this notion, but I know it to be true. I just can't stop singing. Oh, how baby I love you.
Well, it's a beautiful rainy day in Victoria, and it's a very exciting day because we are taking our boat off the dock for the very first time, other than the sea trial. It's a little unfortunate that it's raining so much because the weather here has been insanely gorgeous the last couple weeks, but of course, the day we're ready, it's raining. But that's okay. How are you feeling about today?
I'm pretty happy. This is going to be really fun.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's raining, but I feel like that's kind of a good... This is what you got to be prepared for because you chose this.
Okay,
Good morning.
The whole Meraki crew is aboard today.
Oh yeah, and I'm wearing my Meraki t-shirt and everything.
You are?
Yeah.
Aw, that's
Yeah.
great.
So what are we up to today, Kate?
Well, we're going to take our boat out off the dock for the first time on our own. I mean, we started the engine a week ago, and so hopefully everything will go okay.
And it's just practicing coming and going from the dock.
I was just checking the oil, opening the water up, just making sure the fuel filter was on. Everything under here is good. I check that every time. Now I'm just going to give it some throttle in neutral and then start.
Bow's clear! Whatever I was supposed to say.
I think we're not going to hit that boat. We're going to be good.
I just want to be here. It's a nice boat.
What's that noise?
I don't know. What's that noise? What's this? It's like the red light's on.
That's an alarm. The engine's actually overheating. Did you have the through hull is open?
Business.
So we should probably go back alongside the dock and figure that out.
What's the temperature at for the engine?
190. Okay, could we get someone on the bow line? Someone on.
Yeah. Okay, well that sound we're hearing is not a good sound. That is our engine overheating, and we really only made it not very far from our slip, but luckily we weren't out there when that happened, I suppose. That's the upside.
Did you happen to notice any water coming out the exhaust?
Yeah, there was.
Or was it? Okay.
I turned it off because it was getting way up.
Ooh, that doesn't smell good.
Hey, remember I was saying it just trickles in?
Yeah. I closed the through hull fitting here, and then I opened the sea strainer. Then I opened the through hull fitting, and I got a good gush of water through the strainer. So then I closed the through hull fitting, tightened up the strainer, and now the through hull fitting is open again there, Captain. So we got seawater. Now, is it getting through the heat exchanger? If there was a blockage, it would it could be in the heat exchanger.
Again, the heat exchanger was like acid dipped and stripped, and you could look through one end and see right out the other.
Yeah, it was
Kind
so
of
clean.
eliminates that then.
The first few times I ran the engine, I left the rad cap open.
So that would deal with any airlocks on the coolant side, but it wouldn't deal with any airlocks on the salt water side.
Ding, ding, ding! What do we have for her, Johnny?
There's two sides to a coolant system on these. They're actually cooled with coolant,
Yeah,
and then seawater comes into what's called a heat exchanger,
and cools
and it
the
cools
coolant.
the coolant.
Yeah,
So if either one of those sides had an airlock in it, it would definitely heat up. And it would actually also explain the slow flow here, because I got a gush. There's lots of water there. I think we're going to open this little vent here and find a whole bunch of air comes out. Maybe just as simple as bleeding the salt water side, just to allow the full flow of salt water to go through the heat exchanger.
Okay, so what? You're gonna open the valve and see if air comes out.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
Just all air, because there should be something coming out.
We probably can't tell unless the engine's running, because then that pump's going to be trying to push the air out, because
then-
now...
Okay, so we're gonna start the engine, open that.
Yeah, I was just going to let it cool down a bit more. It's still at 190. So start it, and then crack that and see.
Let's see if it cools the engine down. The engine didn't get that hot, by the way. It was only maybe 195.
I think just when I came down to check before I turned it off, it was over 2.
Was it?
what's its happy place?
180.
Which it's reading now, right? 180?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
I just hope I don't have to spend any more money.
So let's shut it off.
There's no water coming in the boat?
Into the cooling system here. Yeah. Well, we only think. You never know until you get into it, but we think that the seawater intake pump, the saltwater pump, the raw water pump, I guess they call it, I think we're going to find the impellers inside of it are shot. The impeller blades maybe have come off. And sometimes those little blades, there's about 9 of them, they break off and they go up into the system and plug up your saltwater system. We'll have to tow the boat back over to its spot.
Just tell it back over there now.
Okay, well then all hands on deck. Let's do that, and we'll do the repair at your dock.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I will probably just leave the boat tied alongside here and just do it from here. Try it out.
Oh yeah.
That's a good idea.
I'll just be your propulsion.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully Dad brought his big dinghy to save the day and he could tow us back to our slip. That's where we're going, back over to our slip. The boys walked over there with the dog. Nice turn, just right on a dime. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
Thanks.
A little bit of excitement, but we made it back to the dock. Good job, crew.
Now we start engine maintenance.
So we're quite sure that there's an airlock on the saltwater side of our cooling system. Now it's just a matter of finding where that airlock is and why it's happening.
But yeah, I was worried about that the first few times I started. It just didn't look like there was any water coming into that strainer. So this is the lid to the raw water pump. They changed the impeller at the 1037 hour mark, and our hour counter is 1109, so that was only like 70 ago?
70 hours ago.
70 hours
And
ago.
it should last a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
The impeller actually looks just fine.
The impeller's not damaged.
The impeller actually looks fine. It looks quite new. And the pump, we actually just turned the motor over once there, and the pump is turning the impeller. So the shaft seems to be fine. So now I'm thinking it might be an airlock between the pump and the actual intake into the manifold, into the heat exchanger of the engine. So we'll put it all back together again, and then we will actually crack that hose where it goes into the heat exchanger and see if we can get a burp of air out of there. So we're trying to purge air out of the pump here. Oh, just a minute, we got water coming through. Oh, and lots of air.
Did you just open up the raw water?
Yeah. So it's draining water, the air is stopped now, but it was bubbling like crazy. Don't let it start, just turn it over.
Like what I did before?
Just like you did before, that was perfect.
I did it perfect.
You
Well
did.
done, sir.
I'm just not worried at all. This is just totally fine. Ready?
Do that one more time. Okay, good. Let's clamp that back up. There's no more bubbles, but there was a lot of bubbles there.
What's it at now, Mick?
Like 130.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Mick, this is ocean temperature right now. For the first time today.
We are now seeing seawater coming out of the highest part of the raw water system. This means that we have successfully purged all of the air out of the system, and we now have free flowing cold seawater to help cool the engine.
These brilliant men.
They are, aren't they?
They did it.
Yay, we're on the road again.
Take 2.
So we had a good little trial run this morning, and now hopefully the engine doesn't overheat and all will be well.
Engine temperature 179.
Good.
A-okay.
Well, the good thing about having an issue is it's much more exciting when you make it out. Good job, sir. Killing it.
Have we got our lines crossed? We're wasting time on stuff that doesn't really matter.
We're out. Woohoo! We did it.
Better.
It makes it more exciting when you have an issue, hey? We're out. We did it.
Misunderstandings and words unspoken. We fall apart, and I won't dare to say, do you feel the same way? Maybe you don't want to know, but you don't see what you have in front.
I don't know, this is weird, isn't it? Like, how often do you take your home out on the water? It's really strange. That does sound wrong. I don't know, it's
We've worked really hard the last 3 months.
we sure have, and wow, it's just purring so smoothly. But yeah, we're just gonna have a play now, aren't we?
The engine temperature is holding steady just under 180.
Perfect.
Beauty! So beautiful! Oh, there's barnacles growing on them. It's been still for so long. Like there was a mussel on that last one. This is so fun!
It is, wow.
Look at you, buddy! Steering our new home. How's that feel? Woohoo!
Just want to practice docking a bit. We're going to chuck a couple fenders in the water. Kevin's just going to pop in the dinghy, and then we'll just pretend that's a dock and
Do some maneuvering in the wide
maneuver
open.
over to it.
Hi! We did it! We're so close to you!
Hey, Cappy, well done, man.
Beautiful!
Yeah, it went well.
What do you think of your room now, boys?
Good.
It's pretty cozy.
Yeah, it's awesome. You spent a lot of time into it and it was worth it.
It's nice and bright. You find your bed comfortable?
Oh yes, it's really squishy.
Good. And eventually we'll have this bed set up. Yeah, we just kind of, it's storage right now. We need to fix the surround around that porthole still. Yeah, when we're staying here for the weekend, the boys just share the big bed, which works fine for now. So, that was a really successful day.
Brilliant. Practiced a bit of docking against a dinghy.
And Mom and Dad got here by dinghy, so they are shoving off and heading to Masuda to do some work. Thanks for all your help today.
You're welcome, man.
You're superstars. Okay, bye.
Bye, Benny.
Sweetly sailing by the sea, silver caps the ocean. We'll be sailing free.
So, one of my co-workers is bringing her 3 girls out to see our new home. They're pretty cute. They're like the future generation of nomads because they're actually really interested in van life, sailing life on their own. They've discovered channels like Gone with the Winds, and so they have been really, really interested in what we're doing.
Yeah.
So they're going to come out and we're going to give them a little tour around. The kids have not met each other because I just know Amy from work. So this should be really fun.
Fell backwards. Yeah. And then just like.
These are our new friends.
We'll see. My name's Isabella.
Hi, Isabella.
My name's Annika.
Hi,
And my name's Mia.
and Mia. So something I think is really cool about these 3 girls is they are very into, what would you call it?
I guess tiny home.
Tiny home life?
It's like low tiny.
Yeah? You've designed your own sprinter van.
Yeah, she did it.
There we go.
If I had more time, I would have made more pictures. But I only need one.
Okay, this is amazing! So tell me what you've done.
Well, this one I would have, so this is where you would eat and you could do work here. But then after the cushions would come off and the table would fold down, so then you could turn this into a bed. And then here we have a bathroom. We also have more cabinets up here.
Yeah?
And then we have our kitchen.
That is awesome. So do you have ideas of where you want to go in your van?
Probably just go explore different places.
Yeah.
Go camping practically.
And what draws you to living in a van?
I think it's really cool how everything can fit so small and you can actually live there.
So would any of you ever consider traveling on a sailboat?
Yeah, Isabel wants to.
Oh, that's your interest, is a sailboat.
Yeah, so you could travel around the world.
That's great. That's what we're planning to do. So did you guys have any questions for the boys about the trip that we're planning to take?
Well, only like the solar panel one.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Okay, questions about the solar panels?
How you keep energy at night is so we have batteries and those are connected to the solar panels. So when the sun shines down, it charges the batteries.
Well, girls, I'm sure glad you came out. I think I said to your mom, I was really excited to really meet you and hear about your strong interest of caravanning and sailing and all these different things. It's unusual to be so young and so interested in a alternative type of lifestyle. So it's pretty cool. Okay, thanks girls. And Mia, thank you so much for showing me that awesome drawing. It's really cool. I hope one day you're able to build that because that will be so awesome.
We go put 2.
Bye guys, thank you for coming.
Bye.